Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Thaumcraft and Technology, and we join our world just as the sun is setting. Great! As soon as it will let me sleep, we're going to sleep, and then we can get started with today's episode, which is all about Thaumcraft world generation. We'll learn a little bit more about the nodes that we started talking about last episode, and we'll also look at ores and other things that will dot the landscape, trees, all kinds of stuff that will dot the landscape caused by Thaumcraft. I did a little bit of prep for this episode by flying all over the map and placing waypoints that we will be teleporting to, but we won't really be gathering anything there, so I hope you guys don't think of it as too cheaty. We're going to grab some shears so that we can just harvest some things and look at what they are and look at what kinds of Thaumcraft aspects they have. We're going to keep our wand of fire on us, just in case we encounter any wisps in these places. I did fight one while I was off camera. I fought a wisp that this node spawned. It dropped this wispy essence, which made it a Potentia wisp, and it was mean to me, which made me very sad. But I haven't seen any more wisps come from here since then. So it's daytime, world is still loading a little bit, so we're gonna get a little lag. World is huge now, I'm sorry computer. But let's get started. Let's start off by talking about the different kinds of nodes. There are 4 of them. The first type of node, and the most common type of node, is called a common node, and there's one over here that's untouched, and therefore will just look like a normal common node, and this would be it. This is a common node. It's just a little cloud of aura, kind of pulses back and forth, around and around. Pretty basic, looks pretty normal. You can see down in the flux that this has no flux, and it has 508 aura. I believe, but don't quote me on it, that the amount of aura is reflected in the size of the node, and I am getting a lot of lag right now, so I'm very sorry. But that's just going to be how it is. I think I might be nuking my laptop right now. Okay. The second type of node, and I'll come back to what kind of node this is at our base, because it's a little interesting. The second kind of node is called an unstable node, or at least the second type we're going to talk about. It's called an unstable node, and I have one for you right over here. One moment, guys. Let me see if I can fix this lag at all. Alright, I don't know what's causing it, but hopefully pausing for a bit helps. Anyway, unstable nodes. I have one for you right over here. The unstable node is unstable. It generates flux, which is very unfortunate. You can see that this node's probably barely been touched except to suck a little bit out for our base node, and yet it has moderate flux, which is quite a shame. The way you can tell an unstable node is it has this little swirly in the center, the swirly that swirls, yeah, and the lightning. There's always the lightning coming out of an unstable node. Alright, now that I've shown you both of those, we can talk about our base node for a second. You can see already the lightning flashing at our base node. However, when we go over to our node at our base, for a second the research table looked like a person. A weird person. Anyway, there's some lightning flashing in our node, but you can see it lacks the signature swirlies of the unstable node, which leads me to believe that this node is actually a common node that's been corrupted by the flux. I thought I turned that noise off. It's been corrupted by the flux. 1 minute. Anyway, it's been corrupted by the flux, and that's why the lightning is flashing, but it is still a common node. It is not unstable. It will not generate its own flux like that node over there will. Now, oh, that's not what I meant to click. Let's take our waypoint over to our other 2 nodes that are at this waypoint. That node is spawned in already. That's unfortunate. Didn't really want you to see that before we went to look at it. And once a little more spawns in, I'll be able to point to the other node. It actually should be right over here if my memory serves me right. Yep, there it is. This is a pure node right here. These are usually found, if anywhere, in the trunk of a silverwood tree. And you can see I already chopped out 2 pieces of this trunk so that you could see the node. The silverwood node, the pure node, will cleanse itself of flux automatically. You'll rarely find a whole ton of flux over here. They're usually not too big of a node though, but you can do some aura manipulation to get the node to be a little bigger. The signature sign of the pure node is this gold sunburst in the middle of it that you can see, which looks really cool. Pure nodes are basically only found in silverwood trees. I've never seen them anywhere else, not even on the totem that the unstable node was on, that we have to talk about in a second. The final type of node is the dark node. Dark nodes are dangerous as hell. Dark nodes generate flux, and not only do they generate flux, they generate it in the awful elements. They generate the malum, the evil energies. The most common place to find dark nodes, although you can find them in other places, sometimes just random, sometimes in totems, is in these Barrows Hills. They look like this. They are in a hill. I tend to find them in meadows, but I've seen them in other foresty biomes, other plain normal biomes, although most of them I've seen in meadows. I think there are 2 in this meadow alone. I don't remember where the other one is. This Barrow Hill is kind of like a dungeon. We'll go in and possibly get destroyed. Inside these dungeons are mob spawners. You see them already. There's usually... Oh, come on, die. I believe there's 1 skeleton spawner and 1 zombie spawner per Barrow Hill. Die! And there's a zombie down there. Let's just light it up so that no more zombies spawn. And then there's some treasure down here. Kill this zombie. This treasure can be any kinds of things, so let's find out what's in here. I found this Barrow Hill the first day of generating this world when I was first flying around, but I wanted to wait to show you guys what might be inside it. We've got some copper, some tin, some silver. Efficiency 5, nice! Redstone, stupid logic matrix thing. Paper, knowledge fragments, books, all good loot. We can just grab it all now and drop it off at the base. Actually, let's just put it all into one chest so that we can come back and get it. I really like Barrow Hills. I think they look really cool. I've made my bases in them before, if you recall Wannabeast. This was what the Barrow Hill that my base was made in looked like originally, only something happened wrong with the aura, so the dark node was gone. I was quite surprised there weren't any wisps in here. Usually, this dark node generates a whole lot of wisps. Maybe when we find another Barrow Hill, if we find another one this episode. I don't remember if I planned to show another one off. But maybe if we find another one, we can take a look for some wisps. Alright, let's get out of here if my computer decides to work. Okay, so Barrow Hill. That's Barrows Hill. I don't know which one is the official name for it. I usually just call it a Barrow Hill because I know what barrows are. Haha. Next, let's talk about trees and plants. Actually, no, let's talk about ores next. So this is a spot that I found a while back that contains both a cinnabar ore and an amber ore in it. Cinnabar looks like this. It's usually found in pockets of 1. You very rarely find more than 1 together. And I don't know if you can silk touch it, but we're about to find out. You can silk touch it, but even when you mine it normally, oh right, it gets mined normally. When you mine it normally, it drops cinnabar ore. So let me just put that back down and mine it normally for you. There we go, cinnabar ore. What was there? The water bucket. Okay, this is what I'm not sure if you can silk touch. This amber ore, we'll give it a shot. Yep, Okay, today I learned you can silk touch amber ore. But now we'll put it down and we'll just mine up the amber. And it drops a piece of amber. Alright, so those are two things that you might find while caving that are caused by Thaumcraft. They're usually only found in pockets of 1. They're found all over at every elevation, although I think amber is usually found higher up. I don't think it really matters what elevation you're looking for them at, and I don't think it matters what biome either. Let's go look at the other things that you'll get. The other things that you'll see in caves that are caused by Thaumcraft are these shards. Look at that ore up above. See the glowy yellow ore? And also this blue glowy ore over here. You'll also see it in purple, green, and red. These are the shards that I've been using in my Thaumcrafting. Let's see if silk touching it works. No, I didn't think it would. So you can't silk touch shards, and they drop between 1 and 3 shards when you mine them. I don't know if fortune affects it. I'll have to look that up and let you guys know. Look, here's some cinnabar over here. We'll mine that up while we're down here. And I don't see any amber. Grab that. Shards, being in the caves, are representative of a healthy node. What happens when you have an unhealthy node, when you've been draining too much vis from it, is in order to resupply the vis, it'll drain the magic out of these, and they'll become gray, and kind of hard to see and look a whole lot like aluminum, but not entirely. We should grab that gold while we're down here. Those will drop dull shards when you mine them, and if you pump too much vis into your aura, it'll turn those dull shards back into normal shards, into elemental shards, and I've heard that it can even cause normal stone to become shards, but I've honestly never seen that happen. So if you see those shards while you're mining, most of them, they come in veins of 2 or 3, generally. Not vis shards, the purple ones, those usually only come in veins of 2 at the most, but all the other elemental shards tend to come in veins of 2 or 3. It's not guaranteed, though, and they'll drop 1 or 2, or sometimes even 3. Sometimes it's good to leave shards and not mine them all up, because those will recharge your node if you end up screwing up your node. But I'm just going to take them all because I know that there's a way down the line for you to move these from one node to another. And you need these shards to do that, and I also just need them in general. Shards have 2 precantantio, which is the magic element, and 2, what's that crystal element actually called? It's the crystal element. It's found on glass and other things. And then they have 2 things relating to their element, except for the V shards, which have 2 crystal and 6 precantantio, and the dull shards, which have 2 of each. Let's head back to the base real quick and put this stuff up. Oh, it's nighttime. We don't care. Cinnabar, or on its own, has some pretty basic, boring elements, but it does also hint at what it could become with the eye. So if you chuck some cinnabar into a furnace, any kind of furnace, you will get back quicksilver. Quicksilver has the oft-looked-for element modus, and also the poison element, which is hard to find. It's pretty much only on rotten potatoes, spider eyes, and quicksilver. So you'll probably want a fair amount of quicksilver. It also has some metallum, but really metallum is bloody everywhere, so I don't know why you would need that. Amber. A lot of people really like amber, and that's because you can turn it into really cool things. This is an amber block. Amber blocks look really cool. That's an amber block. It's a little translucent. You can see through it a little bit, if you'll note. It's just all around really cool looking. And then if that's not enough for you, you can also turn amber blocks, just like stone, into amber bricks, which I think look a little less cool. Amber bricks have this it looks like about 2.5 times the aspects of a regular piece of amber, and the amber block has about 1.5 times. Oh, the amber block actually looks like it has more. Isn't that interesting? Probably because you get 4 amber. No, that doesn't make any sense actually. I don't think you can turn them back. Oh, you can. How about that? Yes. Oh, you lose some amber in turning them back. Oh well. So that's amber and quicksilver. Zombie brains, those get dropped from the red-eyed zombies that are faster and more powerful than their counterparts. And then wispy essences come from wisps. They, each wisp will be generated along with the, I'm saying a lot in this episode, I'm really sorry, with the aspect that's in the aura that causes it to be spawned. So this came from a dirt wisp, and this came from a potentio wisp. And we don't need those iron bars either, so we're going to put them up. And nor do we need bones. Where should I get all this crap in my inventory from? I don't know. Alright, let's take a quick nappy. And then we can move on, and I can show you some more stuff. Waypoints. Totems and trees. This is a spot that I found that is surrounded by Thaumcraft stuff. And if you look at the aura, I've got a theory. I haven't tested it, but I've got a theory that with higher aura comes more stuff in the Thaumcraft generation. So if we dug down into caves below here, my theory is that we would find more amber and, what do you call it, cinnabar than we would in other places. But it's an unconfirmed theory. Alright, over here, this is a silverwood tree. Silverwood trees are pretty rare, except in really high thalamic areas, and you can grow them with a sapling. The saplings will drop from these leaves. I believe if you shear off the leaves, well, let's just take a look. Let's shear off a leaf, drop silverwood leaves, which have the herba and purus, which is nice, so that you don't have to waste any, what's the word I'm looking for? Refined iron or diamonds, which are the other common source of purus. And then surrounding silverwood trees, you usually find these thingies, which, did I keep my Thaumonomicon on me? No, so I guess we'll just punch one. Ah, they drop quicksilver on their own. Can I shear them then? Yeah, okay, I have to shear them. Shimmer leaves, which have flowers, permutatio and precantantio. They also glow in the dark, which is pretty cool. And you'll see those cool little sparkles, sparkle, sparkle, sparkle. And if you mine up the tree itself, which I need my axe for, you will get a silverwood log, which has tree, precantantio, and purus. And then you might get a sapling. You really only get like 1 or 2 saplings per tree. It's kind of a pain, and I don't really feel like chopping down this whole tree for you. So I think maybe we can just look at the aspects of a sapling in here. No? Okay. Oh, that's because I can't type. Silverwood sapling? No? Okay, well that's what a silverwood sapling looks like right there. You won't see too many of them. They'll only grow in areas with any sort of node. So if you have no aura in the area, they won't grow. Sorry. Over here is the other kind of tree, the greatwood tree. These are tall trees in a 4x4. This one doesn't look like normal ones because it was cut off by the volcano, I imagine. So, but there's one that looks like a normal one over there, and another one, and another one. They're not uncommon in meadows and specific forest biomes, but you won't find them in other forest biomes, so it's kind of difficult to predict. Greatwood trees, well, I'll just show you myself. How about that? Let's pick up a log. Greatwood logs have magic on them, also very nice, and a little bit more of the, shit, what is that aspect called? Tree. It's the tree aspect. And then their leaves just have normal leaf aspect to them. Actually, let's just put this up because we don't really want it. So we'll just put it back. I know, right? Greatwood logs, when used in certain recipes, will give you more of whatever you're making than the normal logs because they have some magic to them. The last thing over here is this obsidian totem. These are, well, there's another one right there, and you saw the other one by our base. So they're also not uncommon in meadows and other high thaumic areas. They usually have nodes near them, although what kind of node is random. Actually, in my travels, I saw totems with common nodes, unstable nodes, and dark nodes, which are scary, let me tell you. And these totems, when you mine them, they're obsidian. So when you mine them, you get an obsidian totem, which has some weird aspects to it, let me tell you. And they get used in some weird recipes later on. But they're pretty cool. You find them all over. I think I have one more thing to show you. Yeah, one more thing. So let's return to the base and put this stuff away, just in case. Oh, actually I have two more things to show you. That's right. Let's put all this stuff in our Thaumcraft chest, because that's what it's from. Just so that we don't lose it. And now let's head off to... Well, I want to show you something else about the Greatwood tree. Not many people know. Well, actually, almost everybody knows that there can be loot in a Greatwood tree underneath it. Not everybody knows that it's not random. See this Greatwood tree? It's got some spider webs around it. That's the indication that there's loot underneath this Greatwood tree. Let's just punch some of these leaves so we can get underneath it. If you dig under a Greatwood tree, you will find a cave spider spawner, which is frightening if you don't expect it. And underneath that cave spider spawner is a chest, which you can't open without killing the spawner. So, bye-bye, spawner. In this chest we have some not very interesting loot, but you can find thaumium and knowledge fragments and all kinds of other things. Portal guns, I think, you can actually find under here. We'll just take it all because I don't think I'm ever going to come back here, because I don't really have a reason. So yeah, Greatwood trees with spider webs are the only ones that have loot on them. Don't try digging under other Greatwood trees for them because you won't find any. Promise. It's just the ones with the spider webs. I had to fly all over the place to find this one with spider webs, and I'm sure they're going to start popping up everywhere now. But they're not as common as normal Greatwood trees. You can see there's another Greatwood tree right there in eyesight, and a Silverwood tree. Silverwood trees are more common than Greatwood trees with spider webs, at least it seems like from my journeys. So, if you're looking for them, and you see a tree with spiders, and it's nighttime, stay away, because those cave spiders will spawn, and will be kind of mean. But if it's daytime, you're pretty safe. You can dig it up, and take a look. Last but not least, we have... Well, there's no real official name for this, actually. But most of us call it a Thaumcraft altar. And you can see it right here. If you look on the map, it shows up as that little black square. These altars are kind of weird, kind of scary. They're made up of obsidian totems. They've got loot in the middle, and usually an unstable node, and some pretty high Vs, usually somewhere in the 500s range. I'm not on peaceful, am I? No, I didn't think so. That would explain why there were no wisps. But underneath, you can see the flames. Yep, is a wisp spawner. And an angry wisp spawner. Not just any wisp spawner, but those are always angry. They always want you dead, and I want it dead. So, this sounds like a perfect time to demonstrate killing a wisp with my wand of fire. Die, bitch. There it goes. And it dropped its wispy essence. And as you can see, it's only got the basic essences that a wisp will have. It doesn't have any more, thus showing that these wisps that are generated here don't have any specific aspect. This loot box is a favored place to find a portal gun, but there isn't one in here, so we'll just take everything and then run before another wisp spawns. I'll take the chest too, just in case I find this place again, so that I know that there's no more loot. And now we're gonna run away. There's more silverwood trees, more greatwood trees. Silverwood trees leaves will always look the same. Greatwood trees will not. Greatwood tree leaves are on the same slider, the same biome leaf slider as the others. So just be aware of that. If you're planting them in a biome such as this, that doesn't have the bright green leaves, they're not going to have bright green leaves. They're going to have the normal leaves of the normal trees wherever they are. We just passed by a totem that didn't have a node with it, so thus proving that that happens. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I haven't shown. I think there might be one more thing. So let's go back to the base and check our Thaumonomicon and see if there's anything we're missing. And let's put up our wispy essence, and that's the only thing we got that was thaumic. We can check our Thaumonomicon and see if it mentions anything else under World Gen. Ah, it does. Cinder Pearl. I believe I have a desert, well, here's a desert temple at least, which should send us to a desert, which will probably have Cinder Pearl somewhere, I hope. Cinder Pearl is a plant found in deserts. I have seen it before, so I do know what I'm looking for. I completely forgot about it, otherwise I would have prepared. I'm so sorry. There's some right there. And if you hit it, it drops blaze powder, but you can also shear it for the plant. And the plant has the same aspects as blaze powder, except one extra magic and the flower aspect as well. So I believe that's everything that you can get with Thaumcraft generation. Let's head back to the base before night happens. I believe that's everything that you get with Thaumcraft generation. I'm not 100% sure, but that's everything I'm aware of. So, one more thing. Those dark nodes, they will spawn wisps. Like, I know the one I showed you didn't spawn any wisps, but they will. I was on a friend's server, and that dark node was just spawning mean wisps constantly. So, if you need to box up a node, or get rid of the dark node, what I would recommend is get some blocks, get your goggles of revealing, and just build a box around it, and that'll trap all the wisps. And don't do magic around it. Seriously, don't put anything from your crucible into the air. You will generate more flux, and it will be bad. Go find some other home for your Thaumcraft lair until you learn enough about aura manipulation. Whoops, stepped on the crucible. Until you learn enough about aura manipulation to get rid of the dark node. That's my warning to you all. Don't make your Thaumcraft base within the purview of a dark node. Anyway, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions about Thaumcraft world generation, I'll do my best to answer them. Please leave your questions in the comments. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye!